Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Dram That's Good Scotch Reviews. It's been a couple of months, and I'm sorry. Not sure what else to say about that. The biggest sales conference of the year for what I do professionally, outside of all this, for fun Scotch drinking stuff, was just last weekend, and I've been preparing like crazy for that for the last 2 months, and that's basically been where I've been is just getting ready. It's amazing how fast 2 or 3 months of your life can go by, and you just turn around, and you're like, "Holy crap! I said I was going to do a bunch of reviews, and I didn't do them." So that's why I'm doing this Maltmas thing. So what is Maltmas, right? It's a holiday I made up because everybody has to drink to tolerate their families and tolerate themselves during the holidays. But that just sounds really dark and depressing. So I thought to myself, let's make this as festive as possible. So instead of the 12 days of Christmas, we are doing the 4 days of Maltmas, where I get to drink four of my favorite drinks and review them for you guys. And I already know most of what I'm going to say as far as the reviews are concerned, because I'm drinking things I want to drink instead of taking risk with new bottles, which is just a lovely thing. And for our first entry, we're going to do 4 episodes, of course, because 4 days of Maltmas. And we'll cap it off sometime just before the new year. Go into 2020 with some fun prospects for what we're going to do with the channel because there's all kinds of YouTube changes coming up. Maybe I'll be able to keep doing these here, maybe not. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. But in the meantime, let's focus on the holiday season. And by holiday, I mean Maltmas. And for that, I need my first bottle. So I'd like to first of all thank Bill and Laura, who were actually at the conference with me, for gifting me this bottle. I first tried this one about 2 or 3 months ago, and it has become a favorite that quickly. So I'm starting off Maltmas with the Glenlivet 14. This is a cognac aged cask. Got a bottle for you right here, or rather the box. I love this shade of purple, actually. This is a really satisfying box. And these guys are trying to take my job away from me because they're doing all the hard work, as you can see, on the back. It's got a little tasting note thing here for you, which, I mean, I'll be honest, this is great if you're in the store and you don't have time to watch a Scotch whiskey review that takes 10 or 15 minutes to explain why you should like this. This is kind of a useful tool as to why you should like this. And they got it just right, because one of the first words I was going to use to describe this drink was toffee. And that's where it, even on the back there, it says this is a toffee flavored drink. They're not wrong. So very much like the what was it? The Glenfiddich 21, the Reserva cask, the rum cask. I enjoyed that a lot, but I felt like it was too much of a Scotch trying to be a rum instead of just being a good Scotch or a good rum. Why not just be one or the other if you can, be one or the other? This is an instance where I feel like the addition of the element of cognac entirely enhances the experience, and that's really satisfying for me because I see so many scotches out there now trying to do new things and different things that are either unnecessary or they don't turn out right, or it's like, this would have been better if you just made a 12-year, 18-year, 25-year, whatever. It would have been better if you just left it at that instead of trying to do all this fancy stuff with it. This is not such a case. This is, after literally having tried it for just a couple of months, one of my favorite drinks. And, we'll just pretend that this was already, we'll pretend this wasn't opened already, that this was a fresh open, but I got it over the weekend, and after a lot of long, long days selling, I was like, you know what, I just need to try this again. And I was immediately refreshed to have done so. Seriously, that stuff gets you through a long weekend like you wouldn't believe. But here is to Maltmas, this new holiday that I've invented for Dram That's Good Scotch Reviews. I look forward to doing this every year, even if just for fun, and trying out 4 new favorites every year. But let's kick it off with one that my dad and I tried a few months ago, and I've been coming back to it ever since. In a season where everything is sweet, like in some cases too damn sweet, this is perfect. This is just so delightful to drink. As far as tasting notes go, they already put it on the box for you. There's a lot of toffee here. They're not kidding about that. If you don't like toffee, you will not like this. If you like something, however, that starts off tasting very much just like a clean and well-balanced scotch, but then finishes with a little something extra, this could be right up your alley, I'm not going to lie. And the beauty of it is one that your first sip is not going to be your best sip, actually. I've noticed that with some scotches, your first sip that you get is the one that just has that pow factor. It just blows you away, and then you're just kind of drinking it. Not the case here. This one is one where your first sip is not your best sip. It gets progressively a little bit better as you go because the cognac, the toffee finish does take some getting used to, even if you like it, because your brain is telling you, I mean, just when you're looking at this looks and tastes just like a plain regular scotch. It's got great color to it. Fantastic caramel looking color. But your brain, therefore, when you're drinking this, your brain is thinking to itself like, okay, this should taste like a normal single malt. What's different about it? That back end toffee is really, really strong. So it does take a little getting used to, even if you want it, even if you're anticipating it. But holy cow, man, I gotta tell you guys, this is just so damn good. I really could sing the praises of this one all day, which is exactly why I picked it as my first Maltmas. For a 14-year bottle, too, where they tried something a little different, this is not just a fantastic flavor, but it's a fantastic deal. I've pulled up a few listings. It even says on Whiskey Advocate's website that this is exclusively available in America for $55 a bottle. I've seen some prices a little lower, seen some prices a little higher. $55 is probably about the average you would spend on this. But sincerely, $55 to get you through the holiday season, if this is all you can afford, this is not a bad place to start, man. Like, that is just damn solid. There is nothing wrong with keeping your single malt simplistic and doing it right so that it is smooth, it is clean, it is enjoyable in the front, and then when it finishes, you get a little pop of something different. That is the way, in my opinion, you should do something. If you want to make a scotch that has other element notes, don't make me think I'm drinking a scotch that happens to be in the same bottle as cognac. Make me think I'm drinking scotch, and then at the end, give me a little surprise. Think of it almost like eating a chocolate, one of those little liqueur-flavored chocolates. You bite into it, you immediately get chocolate, but then as you get towards the center, the liqueur comes out, you get a little extra flavor. Generally, they go well together. With scotch, that's not such a simple thing to do, but kudos to Glenlivet. You guys did it. This is a winner in my book all day. I would drink this time and time again. Every Maltmas scotch, you can just assume before you even watch the review, they're all getting 10 out of 10 reviews. This guy definitely gets a 10 out of 10 from me, and for $55 a bottle, perhaps a little more, perhaps a little less, do it. I know this is going to be, it's not going to be terribly difficult to find, to be honest with you. You can find it in most local stores. But it's worth it. Absolutely worth it to add this one to your collection just to say that you've got it. Or if you're like me, something like this next to a glass of eggnog, that's going to do you just right. So, it felt fitting to start off Maltmas with one of these guys, because this is not going to be the oldest thing in my collection here that I do for the 4 Days of Maltmas. In fact, this is going to be the most recent entry into my favorites. I've got 3 other fantastic ones planned, but it felt good to kick this one off with something new, something fresh and original. So I'd like to, again, give a huge thanks to Bill and Laura for gifting me this bottle. You guys are awesome, and I love working next to you at conferences because you have saved my life I don't know how many times. And I feel like Maltmas, though it is a made-up holiday, would be at a holiday made in the spirit of, giving, loving, friendship, and all that good shit. So, thank you guys again very much for the bottle. Don't know if you'll ever see this, but if you do, cheers to you. Let's do it as we do every time. Have a final sip. God, that is just so good for a dry throat. I've been shilling books to people and doing educational panels for 3 days. My throat is destroyed. I'm doing a good job of covering it up for the video the best that I can. But it's rare that you find a scotch that is every bit as flavorful as it is refreshing. That just doesn't happen very often. Usually it's kind of a one or the other thing. I would drink this any time of the year, but at Maltmas, I'm going to make sure I always have a bottle in my stock. And I hope you all will do the same. So, it's good to be back. Looking forward to doing 3 more episodes for the holiday season. And yes, I'm going to continue shilling this made-up holiday because it's fun. But I hope you'll all join me. Post your own stuff about Maltmas and your traditions as we create them. And as we say at the end of every episode, the best way to drink your whiskey is in a glass. Stay fresh, Merry Maltmas, and I'll see you guys next time.